Well, in closing, I'm just kidding. Who among us back in 71, 72, and 73 would have thought that we'd still be keeping in touch and gathering as good friends 50 years later?
Yeah.
My, how time flies. Now, because I'm nowhere near as creative or as funny as Jim, I'm going to just cut this short and just tell you that I'm happy and proud that I was part of getting this organization going and being with you here tonight, and help begin this group of people who became derelicts. Look around the room. Is there a single homeless person? Going out on a little bit further limb, is there somebody who is not financially comfortable? We all did good. Oh yeah, right. Getting that BMW and driving. So we need to thank Howie, and we need to thank Larry. And wherever Wayne is, we need to thank him as well.
Wayne's on the phone negotiating a deal. He's up in his room negotiating.
But that's his life, that's what he does. And after we say thank you all, I just want to wish you all the best. And here's Corky.
I know you can see me even though I'm thinner than I used to be, but anyways, I didn't have any prepared remarks as my fellow president did, but I was thinking, what did I want to say to you all tonight about this? And I want to tell you, my thought was, why am I here today? I didn't make the last one. I don't know why. Maybe lost it or whatever. But these opportunities are not going to present themselves too many more times. And I want to make sure that I did not miss this particular one. I don't have to tell you about the history of the fraternity. Hell, you are the history of the fraternity. I'm extremely proud to have been a founder with Gil and several others. I'm honored and I'm humbled by you being here and being part of it. So maybe we'll meet again, maybe we won't, but in the words of the immortal Howard Schlossberg, keep on fucking going.
Before Jim talks, I want to finish Gil's remarks for him. Especially the ones from 1977 that I saved all this time. Okay?
I've already been finished off, Howie.
This is from Gil has written me some incredible letters and emails.
You know what the definition of incredible is? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not the truth.
Then you guys won't believe any of this in that case.
Well, that's
Okay.
all right, as long as you amuse them.
Gil suggested that we have prizes at reunions for simple categories, none negative or derogatory, like most jobs held, most places lived, most former wives, most distant career from Albany, most exciting lifestyle. Who the hell has had the most exciting lifestyle?
Tax.
Who's had the dullest lifestyle? And he said that he would volunteer for that. Okay. As according to Gil, he doesn't have any tattoos, piercings, or drug arrests. Okay. Yeah, which Docs does. Okay. And he said, I don't have a gun. I've never used an ATM machine. Okay. And I haven't bought a new car since 1985. Yeah, really, Gil. It's amazing. And so my career is the most distant thing from my degree. And you guys are far more creative than me, as Corky just noted. So, but then this handwritten note from 1983. From 1983. That I have, and I just want to share a few things from here.
It's like a man
Is this like a man crush or something?
He writes about New Orleans. He goes, down here the natives and good guys are known as coon asses. What's a coon ass, Gil?
That's the native term for local person.
And then he said, in 1977, things really started happening for us. We bought a lot, not a lot, but a lot.
A piece of dirt.
A lot.
A piece of dirt.
A piece of land, as he calls it here, 70 by 140, which for this area is considered big land. Okay. And then in parentheses it says, "Are you buying this bull?" Okay, I don't know, Gil. And then just after we moved in, we bought an old Lincoln, which you still have, right?
No, I've got different Lincolns.
Oh, you got a different Lincoln. The only reason I mentioned this is because it was similar to the one in Animal House.
Yes, it was.
Amazing. And then he described Colin. Oh wait, I left out the paragraph about your first son being born. Sorry, I missed that one. Okay. Oh, okay. Anyway, our first son was born August 4th, 1978. Ryan, he's really smart. And our second son, Colin, was born in 1980. He's not as smart. That's what it said. I'm reading from this, Gil. Diane is doing okay. She teaches part-time at our church. Did Gil Avery ever use the word hour and church in the same sentence? I almost stopped reading at that point. I almost stopped reading. These are all highlights. These are Gil's highlights. It's a lot different here than from New York, and we've just been preferred here. I do miss ice hockey. When we went to New Orleans, there's no ice hockey teams. I saw the Islanders win the Stanley Cup, but it was on cable TV. Okay. The economy here, although it's not good, is not that bad. I have no idea what that means either. Politics is the pastime, not the past PASD, but the pastime. It says PI, it says on here. But everyone in it is corrupt, openly. Anyone can buy whatever office he wants to in Louisiana. So if you guys need something to do in retirement, and you have some money, you can buy a political office. But he concludes with, "We still haven't found a place like O'Heaney's." Okay, yeah, you never did you?
No.
You never did, Gil.
Pat
Okay.
O'Brien's comes close, but they play too much piano.
And then he said, until the next time, which will probably be a long time, when he wrote this in 1983, he was right, because the next time was 2012, when we all got together. Wow. So thanks for letting me share that, Gil. Appreciate it. Jim Keenan, take it away.
He said he was going to, and I saw no purpose in stopping him. I don't remember writing having that shit.
Yeah.
But it's the truth of the time.
That's why I said this.
No, it's still corrupt down there.
Okay.
I have to apologize in advance. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and it's mostly under control, but it does affect my speech some. It makes me sound a little bit like an inebriated Elmer Fudd at times.
Nothing's changed.
Keep it real there.
Hey, Mom, I finally made it. I got a heckler. But this has been great. Howie did a great job, and everybody else had helped. It's been... No, don't clap yet, Dave. I'll give you the signal. And it's amazing to me, this is I think the 5th reunion in the last 12 years, which is absolutely amazing, and it makes me pause to think that what if our fellow brother and frats back at the time, and it's not a contest and it's not a competition, but I'd have to say on balance that we kicked their ass.
Right.
Talk about longevity, right?
That's right. I think one of the reasons that we've stuck together this long is because of the nature of the fraternity being only in existence for whatever it was, 7 or 8 years active. So it's kind of a snapshot in time that of us and our togetherness, and what the fraternity's made up now of is the 71 guys on the email list, the brothers we've lost track of. And that's until now. I think we should think about who the life of the party has been the last 5 reunions. And I think the life of the party has been our wives that have been here. Just think about how much fun those reunions the women's club would have been with a bunch of old men standing around looking at disc jockeys. So based on that, by the power vested in me, none that I'm aware of, I propose that we make all the wives and significant others of GDX, members of GDX going forward.
You gotta pay dues.
All those in
Back-
favor,
Back dues.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion. Motion carried. You can see Howie or Whale afterwards as far as any dues that are owed.
Back to it.
With interest.
Except for Ellen. Except for you, Ellen.
Thank you.
51 years with Dave, you're all paid up. Now, with no segue whatsoever, I'm gonna go back to the old days. Actually, I'll start now. It's a tumultuous time. We're all born to live in tumultuous times. Considering the November 5th Thelma and Louise cliff we're all headed for, that we hope we have a soft landing for our country and our democracy. And it was a pretty wild time back when we were in college too. The Vietnam War, poverty,
Chicago 8, the Chicago 7.
lots of issues at the national level. And we had our issues at the campus level too. One of the main ones of which was no refrigeration without representation. At that time, to pay $35 for a shoebox-sized refrigerator, which would barely fit a six-pack and a wall sub, or balance of nature back in the day. So we decided not to take it. So sophomore or junior year, I don't remember, we all piled into Hoover's old sedan, named Hiram for reasons only Dave can explain. We headed to Central Hardware, conveniently located on Central Avenue. We said we were in the market for a refrigerator, and the manager showed one that was about the size of the one you used to be in your grandmother's house. We said, how much? $35. So we set a deal. We balanced it in the back of Hoover's car and made it back to campus, got it in the dorm, and we're in great shape until sometime in the dead of winter when we got the notification that we had to get rid of it. We were in violation. So in a driving snowstorm, we pushed it out in the middle of the squad, in the circle rather. We got up the next morning and it was gone. Buried in the snow.
Covered.
Buried in the snow.
We went out to play touch football in the spring and it was gone.
I remember that.
Senior year, we decided to,
Wait a minute, did you take it back and put it back in your room in the spring?
the questions will be later. Senior year, we decided to give it one more try. So we all piled in my boxy old blue Ford and headed to Central Hardware one more time. We went in and, much to our shock and dismay, the manager said, I got nothing for you boys. One of us remembered and said, what about that giant Godzilla of a refrigerator out on the sidewalk there? And he said, you can have it for $25 if you haul it out of here. So we got it in the back of the Ford. It was about 101 chance against it making it back to campus. I said, if it dumps on Central Avenue, we're going to keep on going. So we somehow managed to get it up in the dorm, and we just back at Central Hardware when we left. We said, do you have any giant-sized refrigerator boxes from the new refrigerators? So they had one. So we took the box and we cut a door in it, cardboard box, and placed it over Godzilla in the hopes that that would give us implausible deniability.
He knows what he's saying.
So it worked. The door worked. We could open the refrigerator, and And what fire hazard? We don't have no stinking fire hazard. So we made it through. We made it through most of the year, and then in the second semester, we got a letter from something called the University Administration Committee or something saying we were in violation again, so we had to go to a committee meeting to discuss it. So we went and said, you got to get rid of the refrigerator. One of us asked on the way out, what if we don't? What's the worst thing that can happen? And they said, well, you could get thrown out of the dorms. Well, this to me was an opportunity that I could not pass up. So I somehow found a correspondence from the college.
So did I.
I took it and I Xeroxed the bottom part of it on a blank paper and typed a letter on an old Royal typewriter, dear, addressed to Larry and Dave and Tom McLaughlin and myself, but due to our infractions, we were being thrown out of the dorm. Something to that effect. Larry, I had to let Larry in on it because he was my roommate, but I would suppose you could call him unindicted
Co-conspirator.
We had the letters put in everybody's mailbox, and they opened it saying we were being evicted from the dorm, had to get out of the dorms. And it caused a total uproar in Zenger Hall. Everybody was coming in, yelling, screaming, and hollering, and it was just chaos for a long time. And then finally it started to settle down. Where is Hoover, by the way? There he is. Hoover kind of had a little bit of a suspicious look on his face, but fortunately at that moment, Gary Leventhal came bursting in the room with a copy of the letter, full of outrage, and said he had gone to a friend of his that was an assistant dorm director and showed him the letter, and this guy was totally outraged by it too. So finally things settled down again, and we were trying to figure out what was what, and Tom McLaughlin got up and walked across the suite and picked up the phone and said, I gotta call my parents and tell them what happened. So it was at that moment that I realized that I had failed to develop an exit strategy. So I confessed. Unfortunately, the worst I got out of the deal was getting thrown in the shower with my clothes on, and I got some kind of a Vulcan death grip that McLaughlin put on my shoulder. It still hurts when I think about it.
That's the actual.
So,
The moral of the story is?
I was going to segue out of that to end it, but I'll tell one more story. Now, there was a character that we all looked up to, Corky, who had his own set of stories, and you could tell 100 of them, but the couple I remember is he came in the dorm, rushing in the dorm with Ratso one day, and said, there's a horse in Yonkers you can't lose. We got it. We're going to race down there, but we want to give you guys a chance to get in on the deal. So we each come up with our $5, and they went tearing out the door to Yonkers, and hours later we found out that, unfortunately, I think it was the 5th horse in the 5th race, and I'm pretty sure it finished 5th.
The horse is still running.
By the way, time out. I was one of those indicted co-conspirators. Ratso had the contact with the dude that said that horse was going to win.
Well, it's a style to pass the buck, Corky. Leave Ratso alone and take your poison.
The next one is a Corky only story, so my Ratso's not involved in this one. Corky came around another time, and this time he had a great deal on buying land on the Delaware River. And it was, I think he missed his mark on the audience a little that time, because we had to make the decision, were we go buy land on the Delaware River or order our Walt sub for dinner. The other Corky story was during the winter time, we were playing nickel dime poker in the lounge, and nickel dime poker sounds like you can't get hurt too badly, but we somehow came up with these games called Guts and AC Doocy.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
lost, you had to match the pot, and 3 people lost, 3 people had to match the pot, and the pots kept getting bigger and bigger, and you could lose a lot or gain a lot, and kind of stupid for broke college students to play. But at the end of the night, I'd had a good night. Corky not so much. Corky came to me and he offered to sell me his winter coat in February in Albany for $30. And I politely declined, so he said, would you write me a check instead for $20? Or can I write you a check for $20? So he wrote me a check, I cashed it and it was all good, so Corky and I were clean. But I came to think about it years later, that if I'd taken that $20 and let it ride with the land on the Delaware River, I might be hobnobbing with Bill Gates instead of asking for the senior discount at Wendy's. That's all I got. I love you. This has been great.